All right, market wrap for Thursday, November 20th, 2025. I'm going to jump right in. This is Futures Brizio, and it is 3:40 p.m., so we're still technically in the session, although the ag markets have closed for the day. And so let's just jump right in. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. Now, I made a live stream just before noontime today, I believe it was. We were just kind of looking at the markets in real time. So if you look at my channel, and I'll leave a link for it, and you go to the live section, it's right here, mid-session futures update for Thursday. This is a live session I did. So you can go back and look at that, and you can see what I was talking about. Again, I streamed that right around midday today. And I don't do a lot of live streams. You can see my last one before that was back in March. So anyways, check that out if you have the time, because it does lay the groundwork for a lot of what this market wrap is going to be. And like I said, I'll try to put a card link to this live stream in the chat. But it will show in the live section of my channel. It's not going to show in the video section, I don't think, until I think it takes 24 hours, then maybe it'll hit the video section. Not really sure how that works with YouTube, because quite honestly, I don't do a lot of live streams. So anyways, let's just jump right in otherwise and just take a look where we've ended up with some of these. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with lean hogs. We really did nothing. I'm just continuing to talk about this level here on the daily chart as being a key level. It looks like we are trying to bounce from here, but we haven't exactly proven that we're going anywhere. You can see here we have just continued just to hit resistance here, but I'd really want to see some super impulsive stair stepping here. I mean, we need to see, for a reversal of this trend, we need to see like these big bearish candles. We need to see that, but bullish candles, right? These little small range, this is an hourly chart, that's not cutting it, right? So again, until we break this swing up here, that would be, to me, would be a signal that we're reversing, longer term, reversing the downtrend. So I'll just continue to watch it, because if we do break that level in this box, there are lower prices below certainly we could get to. All right, so nothing doing right now with lean hogs. But let's jump back up to rice. Rice is also kind of a similar situation, only we got to kind of go to a weekly chart. And again, I know I've hammered this every time. We are sitting at a level, very close to a level, that has been acted as pretty clear support over many, many years. This goes all the way back to 2015 here. And, we can actually find even more examples of that even further back. We have this one here back in 2010. So no need to go back forever, but just to say this is kind of an important area. Again, it doesn't mean price can't find its way through there, as we do have lower price levels below there that it could target. But for the most part, this is sitting at this level. And again, unless we take out this level, because this market's been in a downtrend literally for like a year and a half, if you go back and zoom out on the daily chart. So there's no need to fight but I'm just not really looking to trade it. Once it hits and gets close to these key levels, it's just not anything I'm interested in. So unless we break structure here or break below this zone here, which is right here, this is what I showed you on the higher. So unless we either get through here definitively, or we get some bullish price action, swings us back higher with some big strong candles, then I'm just not trading rice. Okay, so we'll move on to soybeans. I was saying in the session this morning that I thought soybeans would break down further, and I also said during then that I was thinking about taking a short position. I did take one as soon as that video ended. Obviously, it's a late entry. But you can see I didn't get out of it before the market closed. I wasn't home. So now the market's closed. So if I do want to close this, I'm going to have to wait until the electronic session opens tonight, which I believe is around 8 p.m. But you can see it, it where it did end up in profit. I did have a take profit sitting just about where it is now, but clearly it did not trigger my take profit before the market closed. And because this is my funded account, after the market closes, it basically erases, which I don't like, and I don't know why they do this, but I guess because they're considered pending orders in the by the futures broker, by the futures prop firm company. They consider those to be pending orders. Your stop loss and your take profit. So of course, once the market closes, the active position it left open, but it cleared the take profit and the stop loss, which I don't like, but it is what it is. So when the market reopens tonight, hopefully it won't like have a huge gap up, which it probably won't, but you never know. Hopefully not, and I'll close the position then. I had the TP set just at these lows, like here, this one, this one. I mean, look, this may go a lot further. We may smash right through this box and keep going down. As I said this morning, this is a good 4-hour level. But this was a swing low that led to this new high. So unless this is breached, I still have to respect this area as a potential turning point to go higher again, although this is obviously a very deep retracement into that level, and all of this on the way down has been tradable. So let's see if we do get bullish price action turning and coming out of this zone, or if it hits the top of it, where I suspect, like I said, it'll get at least close to it. Then we'll see what happens after that. But you can see, I took a couple of contracts and I'm just holding them here, through the end of the session. And so we'll make a judgment when the market reopens. Hopefully it'll spike down at the open. That would be awesome. And take a few more bucks out of it. I'd love to see it spike down towards this box, but there generally is not a lot of volume and liquidity on that overnight session. So sometimes it does spike, but it's not the right way. So we'll see how that goes. But it was a nice little trade either way. It's up $475 right now. And that was really a very short-term trade. A couple hours I was in that. So, okay, so on to soybean oil. Again, just kind of watching levels here. This is more of, like I stated in the noon live stream, this is more of like a 1-hour level here than a 4-hour, because you can see on the 4-hour chart here, we don't really see this pullback. It just basically looks like a little pause in this uptrend you can see here, as opposed to like this, which is an obvious pullback area. This is our 4-hour zone. We did break lower. That's what that arrow showing. We did break through that level temporarily with a new low and then snap back in. So what does that mean? I don't know. Some people say, well, if it snaps back in, that means it's going to, it's going to go up. That was just a liquidity sweep. Prices are going to go higher. I don't, that might be true. I don't know. And you can see it here on the 1-hour chart. There's the close below that closed, really just below this little prior low. And then we snapped right back. Although this was not an engulfing candle. You can see it's not as big as this candle. But then again, the market closed out before, closed this candle out at the end. This is the last candle it painted in the session. So you can't really necessarily go by that. So we'll see what happens. If we clear these lows tomorrow, then we'll probably head down closer towards this 4-hour level. And I may look for more shorts, at least down back towards this 4-hour level or somewhere around there. If we do get, strong bullish momentum, especially like say on a shorter time frame, this is the 15-minute. Like if we come and like take out this little 15-minute zone right here, for sure, some people might say this one right here, but on a 15-minute chart, I'd be comfortable waiting to see if it breaks and goes higher from here. So I could go either way on this. I mean, we are in a bullish trend still, even with all this bearish price action. I don't think that we've necessarily negated the bullish stance on this chart until if and when we get down and we break these lows down here, assuming that this stays as our most recent swing low. So I would expect to see this, like I said, either continue down tomorrow, continuation, take out this low and go lower. Or again, if we get some strong bullish price action back up, then that could be signal a resumption of the uptrend. And this is just a big flush right here. So, all right. So that's soybean meal. It is what it is. It's just didn't really do much at the end of the day today. You can see these are 4-hour candles. Tried to go higher, came back lower, tried to go lower, came back into the range. And ultimately, where's our opening candle? This is our opening candle right here. No, not even. This one. This is our opening candle. So we got this big range, and ultimately we closed right back inside the range of our opening candle. So a lot of nothing for nothing. So anyways, that's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. Soybean meal is just like soybeans. Only this one has come closer into this 1-hour range, a little deeper in, but it's essentially the same setup, right? 1-hour zone. The last couple ones have been blown through, which, I don't put as much stock into this one as I put into this one. This is a 4-hour chart. So we do have this little pullback area here. Price is sitting there. It went right through this one. It broke structure here, right? Came up, new high, broke structure on this candle. Then it took out this low right here. And we had a little reaction off that during the overnight session. Took that out, came down. Now we're sitting here. So expect a little reaction from here. But again, following structure, even though we are technically still in an uptrend, it's not looking all that great here in soybean meal. And this is now our swing high to the downside. So as long as this is not violated, I'm technically still, looking for shorts. Although, we've got two very strong levels of support sitting right where it is now and then just below that. But I would not be at all surprised if it ultimately just, blows through this one at least. And then we'll see what happens when it gets to this one, which is a little bit more of a significant area, because you can see the big traders, ones that move the market. This clearly was, like a stop run candle. They pushed this down really aggressively only to take it higher. So to me, this is still probably a more important area than this area right here, where prices just kind of went sideways before it shot up again. Okay, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But soybean meal and soybeans pretty much follow hand in hand. And as I said on the noon live stream, I wasn't going to take a trade on both. I chose soybeans. I just thought it had a little bit more room to run. But this one, ultimately would have worked out too. But, it's either double the profit or it's double the loss. And, I'm not going to be greedy on that. It's just not worth the risk in these markets, because they're, a full soybean meal or a full soybean contract. Even just one contract can be a pretty hefty loss if you're wrong. So, all right, corn. Corn, same thing. Again, we have this 4-hour zone. Nothing magical here. You can just see that this is an area price has been respecting. It tried to poke through here today on this last 4-hour candle. You can see the low that it broke through the zones, and we ended up closing back inside the range again. So again, I kind of take this now as our swing high, okay, because it did lead to a new low. So this is our new swing right here, okay. And but we are inside of an area where prices turn multiple times. So let's see. And as I also said, watch out for this price gap. This is lurking just below this zone. And so normally it's not universal. It doesn't, no matter what people tell you, it doesn't happen all the time. But a lot of times price will go back to fill in gaps on the chart. I don't sure why people say because this is an imbalance area and there's still liquidity sitting here. I don't know. So, but there is a gap sitting down here to be cautious of. That if price does break lower, just know that there is a price gap not too far below there. You certainly, if you're still bearish this market and you get a good setup, you could go short still like tomorrow sometime. And maybe your take profit is sitting back at this, at the top of this bull candle that started the gap higher, okay? and you pick up all that. I don't know. But that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. All right. Hogs we started with, so yeah, we're not talking about hogs. And lastly, Canadian dollar. Uh, I do have a small profit running on Canadian dollar. Terrible entry here. Uh, so let me just delete these alerts while we're talking here, just because I don't need them anymore. These are just price alerts. And I did go short when it broke that lower alert there, but unfortunately I wasn't like near my charts, and so I didn't get a great fill. But anyways, 4-hour chart. Let's zoom out a little bit here. We do have a major. This is the 12-hour chart. We have a major gigantic bullish candle on the 12-hour chart that painted, and we've come back basically to the origin of it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and close this trade out now. And I had to take profit sitting back near this low, but this time of day, it's not going to do anything else anyways. So it's a small profit, $100, but I just took it off the table just to protect it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we come down a little further. If we zoom out here, yeah, I mean, again, can't really see. Let's go to the daily. I mean, our next real kind of big pullback area, this is a weekly chart, a daily chart is really long, is way over here or way over here. So this probably will continue to go down, I would think, just by looking at levels here. But obviously, you can guarantee that when price gets down near these lows, which it will do in pretty quick order, either overnight or tomorrow, there will be a reaction off of this zone. Okay, it's just telling you, it's obvious. It happens every time price comes into a major obvious zone, especially on a higher time frame like a 4-hour. This is an obvious area of management. Now, whether it's people trying to buy the lows here and catch a reversal, or whether it's people that are short that are taking profit, there could be 100 reasons why, but there is and there will be a reaction off this zone. Whether it wicks through and pulls back, or whether it just moves sideways around that zone somewhere between the close and lows of these candles here, and then we'll see what happens. Does it break lower, or do we get some bullish action back up again? I think from a technical standpoint, it looks more bearish than bullish, clearly. At least, I mean, people might point to this area. Yeah, that doesn't really. I'm just looking at where bullish price action pulled out of a zone, and that would be like right here. I mean, we got this area here. This is pretty weak, but the bottom line is, I think it has some more downside potential if it can clear through these lows right here. So, you could draw another magical rectangle on your chart, like right here, potentially, and just like pick this up right here. Say, okay, there's our zone, and see what happens when it gets there. Does it bounce, or do we smash through there and keep going lower? So that's what I'll be watching for this tomorrow. So quick small trade on that today. Nothing great, but $100 is better than nothing. So anyways, yeah, so that's about it, guys. I just figured I'd make a little wrap video, even though it's still a little early. But all the grain markets and ag markets are closed now, so it's not really early, not for what I trade. Canadian dollar is still open, but it's not going to do anything of any consequence the rest of the day. So, all right. So anyways, everybody, I will leave it there. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Questions or comments, leave them down below. If you guys want me to do another live stream sometime, leave it in the chat. I did not announce it. I mean, usually when people are going to do live streams, they announce it, or they schedule it on their channel so that your subscribers will be notified, and then they can be, have a heads up that it's coming. I didn't do that. So in the middle of the day, I shouldn't expect a lot of response, especially since I don't have a ton of subscribers in the first place. But I did it just to practice using my OBS software too. That's not how I make these videos. I use a different platform called, you guys want to know. It's called Flashback Express. You can probably see it there on the screen. So that one I use for my pre-recorded videos, but I use OBS, which a lot of people use for streaming. It's a big gamers type thing. I'm not a gamer, but you know, that's how I do the live streams. So if you guys ever are interested in doing that, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. I'm just not going to waste my time if there's no interest and nobody's watching, right? What's the point? So, but like I said, I'll drop a link to the one I did earlier, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody. So have a great rest of the night. And any questions, leave them down below, and we'll be back. Talk to you tomorrow. Okay? Take care, everybody.